So today I wanted to talk about how I first got into debt, how I maxed out my credit cards, and everything that I did to cause this financial mess that we are currently in. So if you want to learn what not to do, if you want to be successful with your finances, then keep on watching. And I'm here to help you on your journey to a happy life. On this channel, you will learn how to navigate through the struggles of life so that you will have more time, energy, and resources to spend on the people and the things that you love the most. And on today's video, I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a backstory about how I first got into debt, and tell you everything that I did to pile on the debt so that hopefully you do not make the same mistakes that I did, so that you don't end up in the same situation that I'm currently in, and so that you can have more success with your finances. If you are starting out as a young adult or have been working for a while now already and you would just like to change your habits, get out of debt, and be more successful in your finances, then this video is for you. Stick around to the end where I will be sharing what you can do instead to get out of debt and stay out of debt, as well as the total amount of debt that we have to pay off in our debt-free journey. Just a note, guys, a lot of times when I say I actually mean we, my husband and I, because we've combined our finances. If you want to know why you should combine your finances as a young married couple, then please check out this video after you finished watching this one. A quick disclaimer, you guys, this video is not meant to throw shade at anyone. I'm not trying to make fun of anyone. I am in no way, shape or form judging anyone. I'm just sharing the things that I've done that caused me to be in this financial mess. Debt has caused me so much frustration and so much stress. That is why I really want to get out of debt really quickly so that I can live a happier life. But if you feel that it is okay to be in debt, that you are fine with having debt, then you do you, boo. I am not judging you. This is just for those like-minded people that feel like debt is causing them so much stress and so much pain and so much frustration that they really want to get out of it. We will get straight into the video, guys. Right after, you please consider clicking that subscribe button and turn on that notification bell so that you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. It's completely free to subscribe and it really helps to support my channel. Now let's get into the video. Since I started working, you guys, I have been struggling living paycheck to paycheck. I was always running out of money before the end of the month. And I didn't even have any debt at the time. But I was working for a company that was paying me very little for my qualifications. Look who wanted to say hi! Look who wanted to say hi! Can you say hi? Say hi! Can you say thank you? Aww! Can mommy finish for me? Can mommy finish for me? Say bye! Can you say bye? Say bye! Say bye! Say bye! And so it wasn't a spending problem that I had, but rather an income problem. I wasn't making enough income. Thankfully, I was still living with my parents at the time, so my expenses were very low. I had medical aid to pay, transport to get to and from work, car insurance, and a few other insurance policies such as funeral cover, retirement, and things like that. I paid all of my bills and was using up all of my money before the end of the month. When large expenses came up in the middle of the month, then I had to ask my parents for help, which I didn't really want to do, but I had no other choice. Things like my car license disc renewal or books for my son's school and things like that. I really wanted to live on my own and be independent, but I couldn't afford to at the time. And bear in mind, I was told by my dad that debt is bad and you need to save up and buy everything cash. But I thought that it might be nice to have a clothing store account so that I can always buy some clothes for my son if he needs it. So I went and got myself a clothing store credit account. That was the first debt that I have ever had, and it wasn't a huge debt, it didn't have a large balance, which I'm really grateful for, but the clothing store account was my very first debt that I had ever had. The idea was that I would never let it carry a very large balance so that I'm unable to pay it off at the end of the month. So I was always planning at the end of every month to pay it off in full. Fast forward to when I got a different job with a different company that were paying me a better salary. I decided to move out of my parents' house. I made the mistake of renting too much house. If you guys didn't know, I follow Dave Ramsey, and he recommends that your housing should be no more than 30%, maybe 35% of your take-home pay. And I made the mistake of going for 30% of my basic salary before deductions. Yeah, that was a mistake on my part. I didn't do enough research. I didn't think about it at the time, but you're actually supposed to consider your take-home pay after deductions, whatever money is left in your account after deductions, not your basic salary pre-deductions. So, the first place I rented on my own was a third of my basic salary. And looking back now, I know that that was too much house for me to afford. As a result, I was still struggling to get by every month, still running out of money before the end of the month. So I applied for a credit card. Debt number 2. Everyone was doing it, so I guess I can do it too. As with the clothing store credit card, I always thought that I would pay off my credit card in full at the end of each month. And for the first 2 months, that is exactly what I did, and I thought I was adulting. So of course, life goes on and these extra expenses come up again. Whenever I needed to buy books or whatever we needed in the house, I would just swipe it on the credit card. Eventually, when next month rolled around, I was unable to pay off the credit card in full because I had racked up the balance. Until eventually I maxed out the credit card. Instead of budgeting, changing my spending habits and being smart with my money, planning for expenses and saving for emergencies, I went to the bank and asked them for an overdraft. Debt number 3. Wow guys, that was such an easy way to get money. Before you knew it, the money was in my bank account and I could use it. All I needed to do is pay it off within a year, and that sounded pretty easy to me because I could easily save up that money in a year. But something would always come up and I would end up using all of the money that I had saved to pay off the overdraft. Every time I needed extra money, I would get on the phone with the bank and ask them for an extension to my overdraft, and boom, there the money was. It was literally too easy, guys. How do they give people money this easy? How do they do it? It was so easy. Kept going on like that until one day I got on the phone with the bank and the lady on the other side said, "Sorry ma'am, you've exceeded your overdraft limit." And I was like, okay, thank you. At this point, my credit card was maxed out, my overdraft limit was exceeded. Every single month, my bank account would go into a minus. Every single month. And the bank charges due to my credit card and overdraft was taking a chunk out of my salary every month. As soon as it was deposited into my bank account, the bank will take his money before I even got the chance to pay my tithe. If you can relate to this, guys, and if you're enjoying the story so far, then please comment down below "relate" and let me know if you're relating to this story. So again, guys, instead of budgeting and being smart with my money, I went to the bank and asked them for another loan. This time, a personal loan. Debt number 4. I was hoping that I could use the money from the personal loan to pay off the credit card and the overdraft and the clothing account, and still have a little bit of extra money to cover other additional expenses that we had. So that's exactly what I did. But as we know, guys, unexpected things happen in life, and I ended up maxing out my credit card, exceeding my overdraft limit, and maxing out the clothing store credit card all over again. So now not only did I have a maxed out credit card and a maxed out overdraft to pay off, but I also had a personal loan that needed to be paid every single month. And I'm just struggling to keep my head above water. I'm struggling to make the payments every month. In the meantime, we went and bought furniture on credit for our apartment. Debt number 5. So did I learn anything from my past mistakes, guys? No. I went back to the bank and I asked them for another loan. This time a RCP, which stands for Revolving Credit Plan. Again, the aim was to use the RCP to pay off some of the debt to make my load lighter. And the RCP is debt number 6. After clearing some of the debt with the RCP money, I maxed out my credit cards again, and I maxed out my overdraft again, and I just went and racked up a lot of debt again. So now I had a maxed out credit card, I had a maxed out overdraft, I had a clothing store account, I had a furniture account, I had a personal loan to pay, and I had the RCP to pay. In addition to that, we had a baby and we have a bunch of medical bills to pay, and that is where I am currently at. We have all of this debt and we have made the decision to never go into debt ever again. So all we're doing now is we're paying off the debt, trying to get rid of it, and once it is gone, guys, once it is gone, I am never ever going into debt ever again. Maybe just to buy a house, but for nothing else. No consumer debt, no credit card debt, no clothing store account, nothing. If we can't afford it, we will save up for it. That is the story of how I got into debt, and I hope through sharing my story that you can realize that getting into debt is so normal. It's nothing to be ashamed of. A lot of people have debt, and debt hasn't been a good thing in my life. That is why I want to get rid of it. It has just caused me stress and pain and frustration. So I'm currently on a debt-free journey. Hopefully I can inspire some of you guys to go on a debt-free journey. It is so important that we make different choices and change our mindset so that we don't always end up having to go into debt. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So that is why it is so important to set up a budget and plan where your money needs to go. I will be making a video about sinking funds. So if you want to learn more about what sinking funds are and how they help us to stay out of debt, then make sure you're subscribed so that you can be notified whenever that video is live. But it will be coming soon, hopefully, maybe the next video, or if not the next video, then the video after that. Also, check out the other videos in my budgeting series where I spoke about why you should combine your finances, how to budget in Excel, and why you need to be sick and tired of debt. It will be linked above and in the description below. If you're interested in my weight loss journey, also click the link to watch my weight loss journey series. Before I go, guys, I just wanted to tell you how much debt we have. Are you ready to hear the total number? Here it is. 142,000 Namibian dollars. If you want to know how we plan to pay off that debt really quickly, then stick around with my debt-free series, as I will be sharing all the information in the next few upcoming videos. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys again in the next one. Bye! Bye! Can you say bye?